Hey everybody, the Super Vader 400 here, back for another review, and this time, this is my short review and overview of the entire Bleach franchise. This is my first Bleach video on this channel, the Super Vader 400 account. Um, I've been a huge fan of Bleach since 2006. 2006. This is also my thoughts on the upcoming Bleach live action film, which I first heard about in 2012. It went into development back in 2012, and now it is being produced by Japan with Warner Brothers handling the distribution rights, and is set for a 2018 release. But before I get to the film, I'm going to go in order. I'm going to start off with the manga, the Bleach manga. Of course, the Bleach manga was created in 2001 after Tite Kubo created his first work, Zombie Powder, which I read a couple of that. That was pretty cool. He then created Bleach. Rukia was supposed to be the main character, but he felt that the main character should be suited for a male protagonist, so he created the character Ichigo. The mangas ran from 2001 all the way up till this year, So that's like 15 years. This manga has ran for like 15 years. I started reading the manga in about 2008. When a friend of mine let me have his Shonen Jump magazine. I have that somewhere around here. I'm gonna review my classic Shonen Jump magazines someday on here. But yeah, the Shonen Jump the Shonen Jump that was my introduction to Bleach, and the stores I goes to used to get the Shonen Jump magazines monthly. So I used to go whenever I had money. I used to go just about every month to get the magazines, and I bought the magazines up until about 2009, up until about 2012. That's when I stopped buying the Shonen Jump magazines. And as for the Bleach, this is when I first got to read the Bleach, and the manga. I was really impressed with the manga. With the first off, unlike other mangas, the artwork for the most part looks the same as the television series, except the manga is a lot more violent. The manga is a lot more graphic and violent. And one thing I love about the manga, and this is one thing I usually like better about mangas, is the pacing, especially in Bleach, which, in my opinion, the Bleach anime has some of the worst filler in the world, man. Has some of the worst filler in the world. Despite how awesome the anime is, for a person who's never seen Bleach, I cannot recommend it. I would recommend reading the manga, but I can't recommend the series, because if you miss an arc, if you miss an episode, unlike in animated cartoons, in anime you usually miss a lot. So I can't recommend the Bleach anime unless you really like stuff like Bleach. I can't recommend the manga either unless you're gonna start from the very beginning. But then you have like 16 years worth of chapters to review, to read. So yeah, so that's what I like about the Bleach manga, the pacing. Other than that, it's for the most part the same as the anime, which I'm about to talk about now. This is the first bit of the franchise, the first piece of the Bleach franchise I've seen, and that is the anime. I saw the anime in 2006, and I've been a huge fan ever since. Bleach, when comparing it to its rival and competitor Naruto, one thing I love about Bleach is since the characters in this series at the beginning of the series are already like 15 and up, they're much more mature than Naruto, and Bleach captures the perfect balance between action, adventure, comedy, drama, horror, and supernatural. Which brings to the other thing I love about Bleach. I love how the pretty much the first season of Bleach is pretty much similar to the real Ghostbusters cartoon. It's mostly Ichigo and Rukia, and the other characters like Chad, Uryu, Orihime. These characters going around hunting ghosts. In the second season, it gets a little bit more complex, and it transforms into a full-on shonen action battle type anime where Ichigo goes to the soul, where Rukia gets kidnapped by her superiors Buyuka, um Buyuka and and Renji for transferring her powers to a for transferring her soul powers to a human, and this is where it really gets good, where Ichigo assembles a team of himself, Orihime, Chad and Uryu to go to the Soul Society and rescue Rukia. It is here where it transforms into a full on battle um um series. Here we meet the Shinobi character Ganju. We meet some of the other characters, like I mentioned, we met Renji and Buyaka earlier. Here we meet other Soul Reapers in the series, such as Ikaku Madara, his partner, I already forgot his name, his partner, Kenpachi Zaraki, and the rest of that squad. Then we later meet the major antagonist of the for pretty much the first half, of the Bleach series, Aizen. Aizen and Gin Ichimaru. Gin Ichimaru is pretty much the first antagonist, and Aizen is pretty much the first antagonist of the entire series. Most of the entire series revolves around him. After he is killed, the story goes into a whole new direction. And kind of after Aizen got killed is when I kind of stopped following Bleach. Bleach. So I gotta like watch more of that to watch and read more of that to review it. As for the Bleach anime, usually I like it when storylines and animes become even better over time. But Bleach is one of those series. Where I actually liked it when the storyline was more simplistic. Like I said, after Aizen is killed, the story goes into a whole new direction. I liked things when they were much more simple. In Bleach, when they were much more simple. Another thing I love about Bleach, when comparing it to his rival Naruto, is is the the gory and fast-paced, intense fight scenes. So that's one thing love about Bleach, man. Love about Bleach. And characters, you got Ichigo, Uryu, Chad, Orihime, um, Kenpachi Zaraki, Ukaku, Renji, um, um, so many awesome characters in this show. Grinjaw Jabberjack, one of the most popular characters in Bleach, and Ichigo's rival. The only thing I don't like about the Bleach anime, like I said, is the filler. After the after the first arc, after the first two arcs, it enters a filler arc called the Bounce arc, which was there were several good episodes, and the finale with Jin was good, but this entire arc was boring. The Bounce arc. Then of course after that it went back to the original series. Then out of nowhere during the awesome second battle between Ichigo and Grimmjow fighting in their transformed Bankai states, we see it goes all the way, it immediately cuts to some filler arc involving a princess and some ninjas, and that's where the series and it was like that for like a long time, the fillers, and then finally it got back on the original series. So that's the one thing I do not like about Bleach is the filler, and then their filler is terrible because their filler interrupts the actual plot for something else, unlike other series which they try to have filler explain or pad out a plot. In other series, Bleach, their filler interrupts the plot. So that's one thing I don't like about Bleach, man. I don't like about the Bleach anime. But everything else about the anime is cool. Next on this list is the movies. Of course, the only one I've seen is Bleach Memories of Nobody. I haven't seen the others, but they look cool. Like I said, one thing I love about the movies, this is also with the Naruto franchise, which that video is coming next. Is the Bleach films, since they don't have to worry about filler, they also don't have to worry about manga canon, so they can do what they want. They can do what they want. They can also move faster and get to the battle scenes quicker. So that's one thing I like better about the movies. I've only seen the first one, Memories of Nobody, and like I said earlier, in 2012, it was announced that Warner Brothers um, had planned to create a live action film. Bleach live action film. Of course, there wasn't much development on it, so that's why I really didn't do a video on that right away. I've been meaning to do a video on the Bleach live action movie for a long time, but since there wasn't much development on it, and I figured it would be in developmental hell for a while, but finally 4 years later in 2016, it's announced that Japan will produce the film, but Warner Brothers will be distributing the film. It said it's unknown if Warner Brothers will be distributing the film. I'm happy and disappointed Japan is making it. I'm happy Japan is making it because when it comes to these tokusatsu series films or these manga based films, they're probably the best for the job. They're probably the best for the job. You see how cool Gotcha Man and the Rurouni Kenshin live action films. Rurouni Kenshin live action films look this is why Japan is good. Not saying that we can't do it either. And then of course more fans will be satisfied and more fans will support it more, will be more supportive if it's produced by Japan, the people who created Bleach, then versus America. So that's the second thing I like about it. What I don't like about it is it'll be a while before we get it. See, at least if it was produced here in America, we would get it quickly. You saw how long it took us to get the Tekken and King of Fighters live action films, and we're just now getting the Rurouni Kenshin live action films, which has been released, and I don't think we'll ever get the live action Gotcha Man movie. So this is the only thing I don't like about Japan producing it. But I can't wait. And the guy they got to play the role, what was his name? Oh yeah, Fukushi, who is in he's in the show Kamen Rider Forez. I love the modern day Kamen Rider series. He's also appeared in the films. He's also appeared in the films reprising the same role. So the guy they got playing Ichigo, he at least looks like him. And like I said, he at least looks like him. So yeah, I can't wait. I'll give more thoughts on the Bleach live action film when like more pictures and trailers and stuff released. But can't wait, man. And like I said, this was a short overview of the Bleach franchise. This was an introduction to longer reviews on the Bleach franchise. All right, I'm done.